Echo unit identified. Opening service entrance.
I should be able to reach the manual reset on the other end of the line.
You mean past the inferno of white-hot plasma?
Correct, which is precisely why I'm the one doing it.
Jack? Jack, are you there?
Another EMP. Status report?
All clear here. But the line's throttle controls just went haywire. Be careful in there.
Shields at 50%. Reboot initiated.
That looked painful. Are you sure about this?
I'm certain. It's the only way to shut down the plasma lathes.
That's a lot of flotsam. Better make sure nothing's jammed the conveyor systems. Could cause problems when we reboot.
I'll inspect the ice pallets. Melted clean through.
Maintenance units shouldn't be entering the line while the cutting systems are active. Something's very wrong here. More debris. Make sure you clear any jammed conveyors before moving on.
Something must have interfered with the nav protocols.
Yeah, looks like. Labor units shouldn't just run face first into a hostile environment. Any sign of a working hard drive in all this wreckage?
Not yet. Most command functions are processed in a unit's head.
Well, if you see one, give it a scan. I could use the data.
Shields at 30%.
Approaching watch station.
The switch there should trigger an emergency reboot.
Warning. Conveyor obstructions detected. Emergency shutdown activated.
There must still be debris blocking the ice pallets. I can't reboot the line until you've cleared them all.
Pallet clear.
Stubborn bastard.
Reboot initiated.
Jesus, Jack. It's a good thing that pod is fully stocked.
Shields at 30%. Reboot initiated. Shields at 30%. Reboot initiated. Shields at 30%.
Reset in progress.
Power output back within normal parameters. We should have plenty of energy for the scan. Nice moves in there. Just watching that was giving me a cardiac. We're almost there. We still need to investigate the primary dig site. Update me when you arrive.
I've located some intact command modules. My scanner should be able to pull the drive data.
Good find. With any luck, the data clusters are still intact.
Direct connection established. Synchronizing data stream.
Nav data purged. Kronos uplink lost. Executing last known command. Collision detected. Damage report. Unavailable. Lower limbs non-ambulatory. Upper limbs non-ambulatory. Excessive command feedback. Critical failure. All systems. Shutting down.
Well, that was certainly horrifying.
I'm starting to crack the encryption. If I find more CubeSats, I should be able to save the completed audio file to my ARM computer. That will let me share any files I find with Liv once I've gathered enough information.
There's a ton of junk data in these logs. But it doesn't look random. It's almost like it was trying to process multiple dig sites at once.
That should have triggered an emergency shutdown. We should be careful.
Select your destination. Destination, primary dig site. Preparing for thruster ignition. Please hold on.
Approaching primary dig site.
Any sign of activity? whole site's gone dark and we need the comms array there to boost the data buffer from our sensor sweep.
All systems appear offline. Emergency lighting only.
Damn. Well, clearly something went wrong here.
I'm sensing a pattern.
No kidding. That should be the new Kronos 2 mission patch. Just something went wrong. In big, bold letters. Anyway, better get to it. Let me know what you find.
Warning. Hazardous levels of radiation detected.
Right on cue.
I'll try to get the site's radiation dampener online.
Good idea. Make sure to check its backup power supply. It may have a dead battery.
Reboot initiated.
Went wrong. In big, bold letters. Anyway, better get to it. Let me know what you find.
Warning. Hazardous levels of radiation detected.
Right on cue.
I'll try to get the site's radiation dampener online.
Good idea. Make sure to check its backup power supply. It may have a dead battery.
Reboot initiated. Shields at 95%.
This battery socket should provide backup power to the dampening field, even if the main generator is offline. Battery removed. It's definitely depleted.
Well, that explains that. Your Fury transport should have a spare you can replace it with.
Shields at 50%.
The backup battery should be on the aft of the transport. Battery acquired.
Shields at 95%. Shields at 50%.
Power restored. I should be able to turn the dampener on now. Dampener online. Geiger readings nominal.
Nice job. That should buy you some time. If the dampener goes down again, you can recharge the battery back at the Fury. Based on the radiation, I bet that generator has a damaged core. Look for a maintenance panel that you can cut open.
A fusion generator, more than capable of powering the entire dig site. Maintenance panel removed.
How's it look?
The main reactor appears to be intact, but the fuel rod is partially melted.
Damn it. Better jettison it then. It may be good to scan it first, though. The data could prove useful.
Severe thermal damage detected. Main fuel supply depleted.
Depleted?
Security brace disengaged.
Helium fusion rods can last a century. How could it discharge that much energy so quickly without exploding? Well, if you have a moment, could you scan those labor units too? The data could help me figure out what happened.
Fuel rod jettisoned. Generator systems offline.
Radiation dissipating. That core seems to have been the only source.
Good work. Now just get the generator a new fuel rod and re-engage the locking mechanisms. There should be a spare in the site's core enclosure.
New core acquired. Returning to the generator.
If you install that fresh fuel rod, we can get the dig site back up and running.
New fuel element accepted. Please re-engage safety protocols. Control rods engaged. Fusion reaction initiated. Please initiate a manual reboot. Connection with primary dig site re-established.
Excellent. I pulled a few labor units out of mothballs to mount the antenna while you finish the repairs. You'll need to assemble them before you move on. A Fury transport should arrive with them shortly.
Broad-spectrum lattice displacement. These labor units have suffered catastrophic radiation damage.
And all without setting off a radiation alarm or abandoning the site. It must have been sudden. That settles it. Let's get rid of the fuel rod. It's too dangerous to keep around. The data from your scans is bizarre. This sort of erosion... How could it have happened instantaneously?
Could the radiation have corrupted the data?
Possibly. But that can't be the only factor. This anomaly isn't just a mass of radiation. There's more to it than that. I'm certain now.
Labor unit online. Proceeding with primary assignment. Labor unit online.
Labor units
Proceeding
online.
with primary
With them
assignment.
managing the data flow, you'll be free to operate the sensor once we're ready to scan.
You mean until something goes wrong?
I figured that went without saying. Jack, looks like everything's back up and running.
Affirmative.
Grab a Fury and head for the depleted dig site. I'll fill you in on the way. Oh, and Jack, if you have a moment, search the primary dig site for another labor unit. I'm getting a signal from one nearby and we could use the extra set of hands.
The drills at the primary dig site are functional. No signs of damage from the anomaly.
Good. Those don't yield as much helium as the blocks we send to the processing line, but losing them would still hurt our numbers.
These solar panels should be providing the site with backup power. The anomaly must have damaged them.
They might not have the wattage to operate the comms array anyway. We barely get enough solar energy here to power the comms stat, let alone a whole dig site.
My sensors are picking up a signal from deeper inside this cave. something's damaged this labor unit. Perhaps I can repair it. Liv, I found the labor unit. It has been dismembered, and it may have suffered internal damage as well.
Try to get its limbs reattached at least. We can perform a more thorough diagnostic later.
Repairs complete. Unit 38, are you operational?
Affirmative. I feel lovely. Just lovely. How are you?
You have definitely sustained internal damage.
Negative. This unit is operating at 10,000% efficiency. As you can see, the bridge is in excellent condition.
This is a cave.
Negative, negative, negative. This is the bridge. I recommend you schedule yourself for maintenance, Echo 1. You are being very negative.
Liv, I found the missing labor unit near the primary dig site and, well, it's disoriented.
What the hell do you mean by that?
Is that Captain Rhodes? Are you speaking to Captain Rhodes? Please tell her that I am nearly finished clearing her browsing history, as requested.
Maybe you should just leave it alone for now.
That may be for the best.
Select your destination. Destination, depleted dig site. Preparing for thruster ignition. Please hold on.
En route to the depleted dig site.
Good. When you get there, you'll need to aim the sensor array at the anomaly. I'm heading out to rig up the transponder.
I thought we agreed that you'd stay on board the station.
Sorry, Jack. I need a direct line into the lathe systems to siphon the power supply.
Liv, the plasma lathes have already malfunctioned once. That's extremely dangerous.
Relax. I double-checked the failsafes and I've shut down the main relays. I'm following protocol to the letter. Mostly.
Confidence inspiring. I've reached the depleted dig site. Are you in position?
Just arrived. Go ahead and bring it online. I'll manage the power supply from here.
Affirmative. I'll activate the site's generator.
Right. Just make sure you've completed all your other tasks before you get started. This scan could take a while, and I'll need you there.
There wouldn't be much point to reactivating these solar panels. The generator is more than enough to power the array. The site's generator is still in working order. I'll get it up and running.
Good. That should bring the sensor online.
I'll need to reboot the generator before we can proceed.
Dig site generator online. Core samples processing. All systems nominal.
This site's generator can only power a few systems at a time. I'll need to make sure its power junction is directed towards the sensor array. Power rerouted. Liv, how are your energy readings?
So far, so good. Head to the sensor and bring it online.
I admit, I would have never considered using our geological sensor this way. It is highly unorthodox.
Well, unorthodox improvisations happen to be a speciality of mine. My father always liked to say, you've got to be prepared to be unprepared. Been hearing that phrase in my head all morning, let me tell you.
Sensor reached.
Look for the main control console. You should be able to activate the sensor from there.
Sensor powering on.
Confirmed. You'll need to rotate the dish so it faces the anomaly before we can get a clear reading. Jack, it's working. The signal's getting stronger. Keep going.
The array is now pointed at the epicenter of the anomaly.
Perfect. Give me a minute to process the data. What the... Jack, what happened? I lost my connection to the sensor.
Energy spike from the anomaly. I think it blew the fuse.
Shit. Those sensors are sealed before deployment. Okay, you'll need to cut through to access the fuse box.
This has to be against protocol.
Well, I find it's easier to get things done if you think of the field manual as guidelines, rather than regulations.
The filament popped. We'll need a new one.
There should be plenty of spare fuses around. Look for a replacement.
Power level stabilizing.
Good. Let's get the sensor back online so we can finish the scan.